Hello and assalamu alaikum. Today we're going to talk about operations management, starting a new unit altogether, 4.1 operations planning. So in this unit we'll talk about what is the basic function of operations, what is effectiveness and efficiency, what is productivity, and what's the difference between capital intensive business and labor intensive business, as well as talking about transformation process, what is it and how does it help us. So that's all, just a review of what we're going to do in this chapter. So today's lecture we're going to talk about operations management and the functions, as well as the contribution operations management makes towards the success of the business. So what is operations management? Operations management is concerned with the processes involved in converting inputs into outputs suitable for customers, the effective use of resources in a business, and relates directly to the production process for products and services, and with effectiveness and efficiency and effectiveness, whatever you say, in resource use. So these both terms we are going to talk about them in whole detail. There's going to be one whole lecture for that, one big lecture for these terms. What are these and how does it relate to operations? Basically, operations is all about the process that works. How does the business operate? What does the business wants to make, and how does it make that production? So it's related to the production process, converting inputs into outputs, and effectively using those resources that the business have, and all about the products and services. It seeks to maximize productivity and to add value to the inputs associated with product and service provision. Since the whole idea behind operations is production, so it wants to maximize the productivity. Now, productivity and production is also different. Production is about what you produce and how much you produce. Let's say a production capacity for a business is, let's say, 5,000 units. They can produce 5,000 units in 1 month, so that's the production. But productivity is a measure of efficiency, how much efficient the business is converting into its inputs into outputs, like the ratio, the least amount of inputs to the maximum amount of outputs. That's what productivity is. That's what it means to maximize the productivity. And when you maximize your productivity, you are basically adding value to the product, and we have already talked about value addition in marketing chapter, so look out to that. Operations management is not limited to manufacturing businesses. Since it's talking about production, it doesn't mean that we are only talking about manufacturing business. Production efficiency and effectiveness is just as important in service businesses such as in banks and retail stores. So we're going to talk about the efficiency and the effectiveness. Both these factors are also important in retail stores and banks. So it's not just limited to manufacturing business, just to keep that in mind. Moving on, what are the functions of operations management department? These are the basic functions that we have. It is to design, create, produce goods and services for an organization and its customers so that they are quality products. You have to make quality products, you have to design the products, creating those products, and producing those products. Then it is to direct and control the transformation process so that it is efficient and effective and adds value. What is the transformation process? We're going to talk about that in the next video. To procure appropriate inputs into a cost effective way. So you want to save your cost as much as possible, and adjust your inputs in such a way so that you have the least amount of cost that you can use to get a best amount of output. We just said that it's all about converting your inputs into outputs at the best ratio possible, so you have to use the best cost effective way when you are adjusting your inputs. To effectively manage an appropriate inventory level. Inventory level is also an important part of operations management. Sometimes it is argued that it is the most important part, better than making quality products, transformation process, or being efficient. Managing appropriate inventory levels comes above all, but that's just a theory. Like, everyone has their own opinions. It would vary from business to business. Those businesses such as manufacturing business, a particular manufacturing business which has high inventory, maybe for those particular business it is important to have managing inventory level comes at the top of operations management. But those who don't have much inventory level, but like retailers, maybe they won't be in their operations management, this function won't be at the top. It might be second or third, but they will be more concerned with technological approach, with the effective labor production mix. They will be more focused about the quality and speed of response, flexibility and type of cost, etc. So yeah, Then we have to focus on quality, speed of response, flexibility, type and cost of the production process. All this is also part of the operations management. Achieve an effective capital production mix. So we said that we're going to talk about labor and capital intensive businesses. So you need to have appropriate number of labor as well as capital. You need to have appropriate mix, not too much labor intensive or not too much capital intensive, because both these methods have their pros and cons, which we're going to talk about later. To incorporate and forecast the latest technological approaches into the production process. So we talk about technological ways. You can just to identify what sort of technological approaches are available to make your production process as much latest, modern and technological as possible. You have to come out of your traditional way. You have to be more technological now, more advanced now. These were just the functions that we have discussed. We just go on a brief overview of these. We're going to talk about each of them in the later chapters about how all these are work properly. Just like with if you have already watched the previous lectures about human resource management, we talked about each of their functions individually in different videos. Like recruitment and selection was a different lecture, and motivation was a different chapter. So similarly, that's going to be the hierarchy system of operations management department as well in this whole chapter. Contribution of operations management to success of business. What contribution does it make? Well, reduction in wastage is a key to improve performance. This might be achieved through JIT. JIT is basically just in time inventory management. We just said that inventory management sometimes comes at the top most important functions of operation management. And why is it that? Because it causes a reduction in wastage. If you have a proper inventory management level, if you can manage your inventory level appropriately, effectively, then there will be reduction in waste to improve performance. And how it can be done, how can you have an appropriate inventory level? You can either have through GIT system or lean production methods. Overall, it reduction in wastage means that you are reducing your costs and you are being increasingly productive. You are increasing your productivity. That is your efficiency. Effective inventory management will also lead to a reduction in waste, which will reduce production costs and therefore lead to a more profitable business. That's at the same point as this, but it's more about the inventory management part, that how much you can save your waste and how it will mean that you are just saving your production costs and hence getting a more profitable business. You can say that just some different words for this same point, but more concerned with the profit part. You will have improved quality, which means better product development will be there. And if you have improving your quality, that is better product development means you'll have a better customer base. Customers will be attracted and hence you'll have more sales, more profit, etc, etc. And designing more efficient work methods, which will mean that better product development. So same thing, that customers will be attracted, you will have more investors, and overall the business will succeed. It will have a more profitable business. You'll have a more profitable situation and everything like that. So yeah, that's it for today's lecture. It was just not we didn't talk much about detail. We just had a brief overview of what operations is, what are the functions, and what are the contribution it makes. So thanks for watching, and Allah Hafiz.